And welcome to the 12th episode of the Fleet Nation podcast with your host. It's just Miss Wells. You all know that you can follow me on Instagram at It's Just Miss Wells. And you can follow the Fleet Nation podcast at the Fleet Nation podcast on Instagram also, as well as on YouTube. On this episode, we have a legend to say the least. Lenny Williams, please introduce yourself and tell these
Hey,
people where they can follow you on social media.
this is Lenny Williams, Leonard and Mildred's baby son. Yes, and you can follow me at Lenny Williams, the real Lenny Williams, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it is an honor to have you here on the show. If you are into music and you don't know who Lenny Williams are, I can't say that you're truly into music. So it's a pleasure to have such a legend here to talk just a little bit about their journey. So can you kick this off for the people that don't know who you are, Lenny, and give them the short version of what you've accomplished in the industry so far?
Well, I started out as as a singer. Then I kind of developed myself into a songwriter, a musician, and just been out here just trying to make my way in the music business. Whether that's singing, writing songs, or even doing some acting. My most famous song is "Girl, You Know I Love You." No matter what you do. Yeah, the song that says, "Cause I love you." Oh. And that song there. But, I started out in Oakland, California, singing in the church choir. I sang in choir with the Hawkins family. We grew up in the same church. The Stewart family with the Sly Stone family, Andre Crouch, Billy Preston. All of us, went to church together, and just been doing my thing for the last 50 something years, and here I am with the Miss Wells. Yeah, yes, yes.
So listen, I can't imagine how many children have been conceived and born off of your music and that one song at least itself. I know it was a staple in my home. It's something that my parents sung. It's something that I still listen to this day. And when I want that feel good music, your catalog is always one that I know that I can go to that's going to give me some good tunes. So
Well, I appreciate that. It's interesting that you said my catalog because most people they see me, they say, "I love your song." Like that's the only song I ever did, But I did songs with Tower Power that I wrote and I sang. Did songs with Kenny G. The song "Don't Make Me Wait for Love" on the Big Duo Tones album. Of course, did stuff with the Graham Central Station, and also did record with Snoop and Too Short and E40 and was sampled by Kanye and Twister. So been out here, just doing my thing. But it's nice to have that one song that everybody just goes crazy over. Yeah, and that's "Cause I Love You." Yeah.
I would agree with you on that 100%. So, talk just a little bit about what you noticed is the difference between the music industry around the time that you got started, journey through it until now, the way that the music industry is working, being that you've had the opportunity to work with so many different people.
Well, when I first started, it was like you're trying to meet people. So I'm in Oakland, California, so I'm trying to meet other musicians. And then we had a record company, over in San Francisco and a couple in Oakland. So you're trying to get to the studio and meet these people. And I think the difference now is that you can get on the internet and you can meet people. You can get in their DMs or whatever it is and reach them, or trying to go to a studio. You just take your cell phone and make a studio out of that. So uh, a lot of things are more accessible to you nowadays because of the internet and everything like that. And so I think that's one of the major differences that when I started.
So, what do you think are some of the similarities? Because a lot of the people will talk about what's different, but they don't really highlight how some of the hustle is still the same, whether it was from the beginning till now.
Well, I think one major similarity is that your music got to be good. You know what I mean? It's got to be good or it's got to be clever. Sometimes you get a record, somebody singing something and they're not like a great singer, but they've got a clever lyric or, real exceptional melody on the music, a good beat or something like that. And so the record definitely, the music has to distinguish itself. It's got to be better than the majority of things that people are going to hear. Like nowadays, when I was coming up, the radio stations played about 28 records, and
Wow.
that was it. Nowadays, you can go on Spotify or whatever it is, and you can hear, you know, 800 many records as you want to hear, and somebody was telling me that I think they were saying something like 6,000 records come out every week now. I mean, every day you go, it's just 6,000 new records coming out, and it's just a whole lot of traffic out there. If you want to get noticed, it's like, okay, you walk in a room and there's 4,000 people trying out for a part to get in the movie or something like that. How are
Yep.
you going to distinguish yourself? So, how they, when you walk in, how they going to notice you or whatever. So I think
Yeah.
one of the major similarities I think is the music has to be good. Yeah.
So, how do you connect that to your songwriting when you're thinking of new projects or new songs to put out? Is it anything
Well,
that inspires you?
I think a lot of times just listening to other music can inspire you. Listening to other people talk, and I wrote a song once because said. Uh, I'm trying to think of the name of the song. I used to sing it all the time. But I mean, just thinking of songs. Okay, like I'm one time. Uh, we were. I'm trying. God, I can't remember that. I can't believe that I can't remember the song. But I'm just going to use that as an example. But like okay, you just listen to people talk about certain things, and
Yeah.
then they'll say something, and then it's like, oh, that could be a song, and like I'm just trying. I'm just trying to think of an example, but I can't think of it right now. But I know I'm going to think of it in a minute. But yeah, but listen to people talk. That's and conversations, and then you'll come up with ideas about songs. Watching people, you know what I mean?
I think you're spot on that. I
Uh
don't
huh.
do music, I will tell you that, but I am a
Uh
creative at heart.
huh.
And most of the time, my ideas will come from something that I've either seen someone else do,
Right.
or
Uh huh.
conversations that we've had, or something that
Right.
I've seen that just kind of
Hmm.
clicks
Yeah.
that light bulb for me and says,
Right.
"Ooh, I need to try that." So good to
Yeah. I
know
just
that
thought of
that's
it.
similar.
I wrote a song called "Didn't Know It Was Your Mama" one time. And so we were at a club, and me and the band, and so we taking a break, and we walked past the table, all these beautiful ladies there. One of the guys in the band say something uh, you know, to the ladies, and then one of the girls like, you can't talk to my mama like that. And then he talking about, I'm sorry, I didn't know it was your mama. And I said, now that's a song right there, And then, then we talking about how she was, she had the ring in her tongue, and she was on the floor, you know what I mean? She had the little short skirt, and had the ring in her tongue, and she was dropping it like this. I said, I didn't know it was your mama because she was getting down like everybody else, She's all tatted up and everything. So, so just her saying that, oh, that's an idea right there. I didn't know it was your mama. She looked like everybody else, right? Yeah.
So, Lenny, talk just a little bit about what your favorite song is that you've created so far. I know you're still putting out music, so I'm not going to say your favorite song, period, because I know you've got a lot more coming out before this whole thing is said and done. But which one would you say, like, this is mine, whether it's released or it was one that you had personal for yourself?
Well, I have to say, "Cause I Love You" is my favorite personal song, because it's the one that pays all the bills and everybody wants to hear. But I mean, I've written a lot of songs, songs I really like the song I wrote with Snoop about about I love my mama, and what the first one to hold me, first one to scold me, first one to teach me, always trying to reach me, songs like that. Then did a song with Kenny G called "Don't Make Me Wait for Love," which is a really nice song that I liked. It was 16 million seller, on the on that album there. But like I don't know. I like to write little funny stuff sometimes too. Comical songs. Sometimes those kind of get across too. So I'd like to write serious songs and comical songs. But uh, I guess the ones that people like, then I like, because that's really what you're trying to do. You're really trying to get people to. You're an artist, so you're trying to get people to like what you do. And just think that you could sit
Mm-hmm.
in your room, and come up with an idea, and then a million people spend 99 cents because they like it that much. And so
Yeah.
so that makes me like it, because it makes me realize that I've resonated with people.
So, what space were you in when you wrote "Cause I Love You"? Because you seem like a storyteller, and I feel like there has to be a really good story that came in behind that.
Well, I had a friend of mine that used to work on my house all the time, and he had a
Mm-hmm.
son. He said, my son can write, he can dance, he's like the next Michael Jackson. And so then I just like, everybody think that about their kids, right? And so then finally I met his son. His son was like really, really talented. And he used to tell me, well, I got to be inspired to write. Something got to happen. I said, well, what if you was working for Disney or working for Motown? You come in and they say, write about this, write about that. It's like, you got to get the wheels turning, or else you're going to lose your job. And so, and I got him to buy into that. Don't just write. And so one morning he came by the house, and we was getting ready to write, and then I was like, I don't really feel like it. And he's like, why? And I said, because me and my girl got into it, and it's not feeling good. And he's like, would you tell Motown that, or would you tell Disney that? And I was like, no. He said, well, come on, let's write. And then we just went to the piano, and bam, there it came. Yeah. So that's the
That's
story
awesome.
about that song.
Now it leads me right where I was hoping that would go, and that's talking about collaboration. How critical has that been in your career?
Well, it's been very critical for me because I play trumpet, but
Okay.
I'm not like a piano player or a guitar player. Although I can kind of fool around on piano, you know, do scales and stuff like that, and guitar. I can fool around the guitar, and I used to kind of play guitar a little bit. So I like to come up with melodies and words,
Mm.
and then get with somebody that's really good with real good, with chords, and then try to come up with the structure of the song, and so and then if I can't find anybody, then I wind up doing it myself. Sometimes I feel like that, you know, you if you got a good friend hanging around, and the two is better than one, you can, because there've been a lot of great songwriting teams, that have existed, throughout the music business. And so I think that you don't have to try to do it alone. If you can get two or three different people, and it just makes a song come together, and you get different ideas, and you just be surprised at some of the ideas that you can get from other people.
I'm on board with you on that one. I agree 100%. Starting off early in my career, I used to try to do it all by
Hmm.
myself. And then I realized just how tired I was trying to be a one-stop show. And
Right.
once I started learning how to delegate, build
Hmm.
relationships, and meet people that had things to offer that they specialized in, or that I just didn't have the time to do, but it was their passion, it made my journey so much more cohesive and easier to move forward than when I was out here trying to do it all by myself.
Right, because then when you have somebody to help you, you can find out what you're really good at. You can say, "Oh, this is what I'm really good at,"
Mm-hmm.
and then you don't be wasting a lot of energy trying to do a bunch of other things. So maybe like with me, I may come up with basic chord structure, but then I can go to somebody else, and then they can expand those chords, or they can, help with the harmony, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And so, it's just real exciting when you find somebody that you really click with, and then it almost helps your creativity, because some people that I write with, I might not even have an idea at all. And when I see them, it just things just start popping up. It's because it's like that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to, write a song, and it just things
Mhm.
just come to me out of midair. Yeah.
So now I'm an advocate for the DJ. I tell people
Mm-hmm.
that all the time because I feel like it's one of the they are one of the most underlooked important tools in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
So can you talk just a little bit about how you've utilized DJs in your career?
Oh yeah, I mean they're essential. It's like you go to church, you want to hear a preacher, right? And it's like and so they're delivering the message. So DJs deliver the music, and so you definitely want to get your music to a DJ. I mean, there's just countless stories in the music business how people have put out records and they've kind of languished around for a year or something. I think Hall and Oates, I think they put out Sarah Smiling. I heard it just kind of meandered its way around for about a year or something. Then some DJ, they thought the record was dead. Then some DJ put it out, and bam, biggest record of their career. And
Yeah.
and then they have these ears. And I've been noticing a lot lately with a lot of the dance music is that a lot of DJs they play the music so much that they're familiar with the sounds, and what can you know you got a crowd sitting around, and they all up on sitting up against the wall. It's like, we play this and get them moving, right? And then if you got an older crowd, they know what to play to kind of get grandma and grandpa to pat their feet and stuff like that. So they're really, in a way, kind of like psychologists with the music, that they know how to get a crowd going. It's getting late, so everybody will be in the love mood. They can get you in that mood. Yeah, so they're very essential in terms of just delivering new music to people, and also just being able to control a crowd and manipulate a crowd of people, small crowd, large crowd, with music.
I love how you associated the DJ to a psychologist. That's the first time I've ever heard that comparison. But the
Uh,
way you broke it down, you do have to have like that extra insight on what moves people, what
right.
connects them, and whether it's like you said, wanting them to be happy or
Uh-huh.
you ready to wrap it up and start moving them out the door.
Right,
You have
exactly.
that unique ability to know how to control the crowd.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, the good quarterback. That's what I say. They like a good quarterback. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Lenny, she took my draws.
Mm-hmm.
We got to talk about it. Let's talk about this new hit that you got on
Uh-huh.
your hands right now. Tell us a little bit about this single.
Well, I'm I've been doing a lot of the Southern soul, right? And a lot of the entertainers are very dynamic. They or they writing songs, and they seem to have a lot of latitude about what they can write about. Because when I was coming up, you had to kind of stay in this little box. You couldn't say this, you couldn't say that, couldn't say damn, and so I being in that genre right now. Um, you have to be clever. And so what I do is I don't know. I've got cousins. I was born in Arkansas.
Okay.
My daddy's born in Louisiana, and my mama's born in Arkansas, and I got cousins all through the South. And so I'll be talking to them sometime, and I got cousins tell me, "Man, I'm trying to get this girl. I'm trying to quit this girl, and I just can't quit her. I just can't quit her." And I was like, "What? Move. Why don't you move to California or something like that, and come on out here, move to New York or something, and just get away with it, so you won't be going by a house, and you can just stop seeing her." He said, "Man, I tried that." And then I said, "You know what? I used to hear them old folks say that if a woman wanted to keep a man and she didn't want him to get away, all she had to do was bury his drawers." I said, "She probably done buried your drawers, right?" It just jumped in my mind. And so I said, "I'm gonna write a song about that. She got my drawers." Uh-huh. But I'll be,
Well, go
and
ahead.
sometimes people text when I put it out. People start texting me, oh, like uh, you done went from singing problem solver to she got my drawers like it's a terrible thing. And I'm like, number one, I'm teaching you black history, you know what I mean? And then number
Yes.
two, you talking about me, I didn't hear from you when I did problem solver. You brought it up, but I didn't hear from you. Now you texted me, so obviously I got your attention, so and that's the point of the game, to get people's attention. Yeah.
Absolutely. So you've had a lot of traction with this song as well.
Mm-hmm.
Will you talk just a little bit about what you're seeing on social media, or have you even been keeping up with some of the feedback of what people are saying about the
Uh-huh.
track when they get their hands on it?
Oh yeah, they were talking about more like what old folks wear, more like the pants and drawers, I was like, okay, where you live at? I'm finna come by. Uh, uh, and they be talking about uh, he 2 year old to be talking about that kind of stuff or whatever, but it's fun, just all kind of fun. I'm just enjoying the fact that I wrote something that's getting people stimulated, that they're talking about it, because you put songs out, and it's a week or two, people might say something, and then after a while it's just kind of gone, forgotten. But I mean, this people just been talking about it. Every time I pick up the phone and look at Instagram or Facebook or whatever, people, were they dirty? You know what I mean? Uh, and then I even heard, then I've been talking to somebody was saying, yeah, the drawers have to be dirty and they have to be buried on the left side in the backyard on the left side of the house, so the folklore about this old thing that the black people used to say uh
Mhm.
down in the South, in the 40s and the 50s, or probably even earlier than that. How it's just sticking around, and everybody's got their own version of how it's supposed to be.
I did not know that that was a thing,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm invested, and I'm gonna have to go look it up. I'm not gonna bury any draws, but I
Uh-huh.
do want to learn more about
Uh-huh.
what it can do if I need to sometime in my future. So
Yeah, so I'll be telling all the young girls, I say, hey, if you got a good man, you want to keep him, and everybody out there trying to get him, and you walk into the club, everybody's running up to him, and you worried about him. You get a pair of them jaws and grab him and bury him over there in the backyard, and then you can go to sleep. Don't worry about your man. He go to work, wherever he going, go and hang out with the boys. You know he gonna come on back home. Yeah.
once again, Lenny, you have given us the tools that we needed to probably reproduce more kids and keep our
Uh,
men at home. So thank you for that
uh-huh.
brief knowledge on the background of this song.
Yeah.
Um, what are your hopes with it? Do you have like another project that's following up behind it, or is just something that you wanted to put out as some feel good music before the
Yeah.
seasons change?
Yeah, something just feel good music, and then but I did run into a friend of mine, Terry T, who did a lot of work with Tony when they first came out way back in the days when they were producing Beyonce, and them what's the name of that group that had Beyonce had?
Destiny's Child.
Destiny's Child. They produced Destiny's Child way back in the day, and so he was working with Dwayne and Raphael, and so he's just kind of been doing his thing, and so him and I've been working on the song. We're gonna put it out. It's gonna be a follow up to "She Got My Drawers." She took my
I
drawers.
can't
Yes.
wait.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other thing that I love to do on this particular platform is I like to just ask a oddball question. And
Okay.
for you, Lenny, if you were trapped on an island,
Mm-hmm.
what are three things that you would have to have with you?
A woman. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. A gun.
Okay.
Loaded, of course. Yeah. 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 So, and I mean, I would say a Bible, but but I, you know, I have my face. I think that I could uh, have a spiritual connection without the Bible, you know. So I'm trying to think. So, and maybe a guitar.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna be able to have companionship
Oh,
and a
most
little
definitely.
fun.
Yeah, a lot of
You're gonna
fun.
be able to protect yourself and
And
feed
my
both of
companion.
y'all.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And then you're gonna do what you've been doing for the last 50 plus years, and that's making music.
Making
So
music. Yeah.
it just the tunes that it's in you and it will go with you wherever you go. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you for sharing that. I always like to put that little fun piece in the conversation.
Yeah, I never thought about that, but yeah, definitely those would be the three things I think I would that come to top of my mind right now. Yes, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Now, can you give us just one little piece of advice that you would leave for an artist, a music professional, someone that's in the entertainment or music industry? Just something that you would like or you wish that you would have known in your journey that's helped you out before we wrap up the show.
Well, I think you know, developing a personality. Never be too hesitant to talk to people. You know, because I know in my earlier career, I was more kind of sheltered because like you have boxers, you know, and they don't want to get hit, so they never get close enough to hit anybody, you know. And so I used to be so uh, concerned about getting taken advantage of or whatever or misused that a lot of times I've been situations where I could have, worked with people or or had the opportunity and I just didn't. I just relied on myself. So I think that being open and just going for it is a good thing that people should do. You know, you got to arm yourself with knowledge. You know, to make sure that you know what you're doing, or before you sign something or whatever. But you know, just go for it and see what happens.
I think that's a great piece of advice for anyone that is following in your footsteps. Be creative, be you, be
Mm-hmm.
willing to go for it and make connections in this industry to help you get yourself further instead of trying to do it all by yourself.
Right.
Lenny, I do want you to know that the Fleet Nation is behind you 100%. The CEO Classic himself is the one that made this connection. And he said, you got to listen to this song and we
Uh-huh.
got to have it in rotation. So I definitely want to let you know that you've got the support from the worldwide Fleet DJs across the United States and every other country out here. We just continue to grow.
I
Um,
appreciate you so much. Yeah.
Oh, it's no problem. Now, audience, you guys know what you need to do. You need to follow me on Instagram at It's Just Miss Wells. And then follow the Fleet Nation podcast at It's Just Miss Wells too. And Lenny, just before we wrap this thing up, tell these people one more time where they can follow you and keep up with your movement.
Yeah, you can go to the real Lenny Williams on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I'm all over the place. If they create something, a new platform tonight, tomorrow my grandson gonna have me on it. Yes, so we rolling, and and I appreciate everybody for all their support throughout the years. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, you all, until the 13th episode, we are out of here.
It's just Miss Wells. Yes.